over here!
Yep, no map this time. We're jumping straight in here, folks.
Yeah, with an X on the title.
Here we are in Renval, so yeah, as we mentioned before, we are going to be joining Ephraim, but before that,
What a pleasant surprise! It's Master Volter.
what's the situation, Tirado? You have captured Ephraim, haven't you?
No, Prince Ephraim still fights in the land north of Renval.
And why is that? What has happened to all those mercenaries you hired?
They've proven to be less than adequate. Ephraim's clever. His band strikes quickly and then vanishes into the woods. We more than double his numbers, and yet he uses the terrain wisely to fight us. He has no army, just a small force of knights loyal to Renee. Prince Ephraim's reputation as a superb strategist would seem to be well earned.
How interesting. The lad's beginning to whet my appetite. Tirado, bring him to me as quickly as you can, will you?
As you command. Just grant me an army, and I'll bring him down swiftly.
What sort of plan do you have?
Master, I am your loyal adjutant. Adjutant.
Yep.
And you are my general. For you, my lord, I have many plans ready and waiting.
Really? Well then, let me hear them.
Very well. First, you and I will leave this fort and head north. Then, we will find Prince Ephraim in his leafy playpen.
But he's not easily found, is he?
Do not worry. At Prince Ephraim's side is a friend, shall we say. When the time is right, our friend will move on our behalf.
Hey!
Ford, how are we on supplies and equipment?
It's not looking good. Our weapons are in bad shape and we're running low on food. We can probably restock at a nearby village, but...
No, that's not an option. We're in enemy territory. I will not involve innocents if I can avoid it.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. I mean, it's because of stuff like that we've stuck with you so far. But eventually we do need to face reality. What are we gonna do?
Word of mouth has it that the invasion of Renee has progressed quite far. I've heard that the capital has fallen. So soon. Still, my father is in the capital, and he won't surrender easily. Ford, Kyle, our mission here is to have the
Harry.
Our mission here is to harry the troops, to distract their eye. Hopefully, we'll be able to give my father and Erica time to escape. Kyle, have you heard anything about Orson? I sent him ahead to scout. Sorry, I need to
You good?
clear my throat, yeah.
Nah, I get you, man.
No word yet, and it's about time he returned.
Reporting in, Prince Ephraim. I can confirm Grado presence at several points around our camp. Also, a large battalion of soldiers has been dispatched from Renval. We shouldn't tarry here any longer than necessary.
I see.
Seems as though we've certainly caught Grado's eye this time. Should we retreat back to the capital, Prince Ephraim?
No, we press onward. We're going to capture Renval.
What?
So this is Renval, is it? Alright, let's go.
Are you sure you're quite sane, Prince Ephraim? We have an entire army after us, and you want to charge their stronghold?
Ford, watch your tongue. This is our prince you're addressing. Kyle, please, it's alright. We've heard nothing from home. So what harm could a little reckless besieging cause? Prince Ephraim? Don't worry, I haven't lost all sense of self-preservation. Renval holds an important place in Grado's national defense. If we can get the upper hand and take control of it, then Grado will waste many valuable soldiers trying to take it back. I hope our attack proves useful to my father and Erica.
I understand what you're saying, but can we do it with our current strength?
Every soldier in this area is trying to find us. The enemy has us vastly outnumbered. Attacking the castle is a ridiculous idea. If the enemy thinks the same, then we may have our opening.
You have a point. I'm sure Renval won't expect us to attack with these numbers. Either way, we can't run forever, and we're running out of supplies. What have we got to lose? Shall we get ready to go?
Yes. If we don't move quickly, we may never get another chance. Trust me, I don't pick fights I cannot win. Yes, sir!
Oh boy. An attack by Ephraim's troops? To arms! Prince Ephraim circled around and brought the fight to us. If we capture the prince here, we can line our pockets with gold. Do you understand? We'll be rich!
Orson,
Yes.
your wounds still haven't healed from last battle, have they? Don't push yourself. If we're defeated, you must return to Frelia, understood?
Understood.
Let's go. Kyle, Ford.
Yeah, it's bringing us right into it. So, Prince Ephraim here. This guy's kind of a beast.
Yeah,
he's really good.
he starts a lot more capable than Erica does.
Very much so, especially because he has kind of an insanely good weapon right out of the gate. Regin Leaf is insane.
He is a horse killer.
Yeah.
He kills horses.
He kills horses, he kills armors. Because it also is effective against
Yeah.
knights. Also, we got Ford here, our resident Red Knight, and Kyle, our resident Green Knight.
Yeah, they're both decent knights.
They're definitely both decent knights. And Orson, I believe, follows the same trend as Seth. He is also an early game paladin.
Yeah, he's a micro Seth.
Pretty much. But yeah, we can kind of just move forward and, like, take these guys on, honestly.
Yep, like with regular Seth, probably even more so, we don't want to give experience to Orson, we just have him to bail us out of tough situations.
Exactly, which, from as far as I remember, this chapter is not that hard.
No, we just need to keep our wits about us.
Yeah, is this guy gonna move?
Probably not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So what we can probably do is Ephraim and Kyle can probably, like, come up to these guys and take these guys out, and then we can have Ford bait this archer.
Okay.
Because if I recall, Ford, yep, he has a javelin. Might as well.
Yeah, I think I remember Ford being the more offensive of these two and Kyle being the more defensive.
Mm-hmm. I don't exactly remember correctly because, like, myself, because I actually don't use these two all too often.
Yeah. Yeah, Franz is usually my guy. I've heard a lot of people swear that Ford is the better unit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt them. I don't know. Probably just because of the way they're introduced as, like, Ephraim's two guys. I've never been that interested in either of these two characters. Though, fun fact, Ford is Franz's older brother.
I'm actually gonna go with the sword here for the accuracy.
Okay.
That'll still kill at a double. Well done, Kyle. So yeah, Kyle and Ford are brothers, right?
No, Ford and Franz are brothers.
Ford and Franz are brothers.
Yeah.
Kyle is unrelated.
Yeah, Kyle and Ford are just two mid-level knights of Renee, and Franz is like kind of a new recruit when this game starts.
Right. I mean, they're good enough to be. They're good enough to, like, tarry around in Grado with freaking Ephraim.
Yeah, they're part of Ephraim's unique team, which I imagine he probably had more men when he left Renee, and now he's just down to these four.
Maybe, yeah.
Orson also is not from Renee. He is from Frelia, where Princess Tana is from, to the north of Renee. But he's supposedly a loyal vassal to Ephraim.
Look at those numbers.
Yeah.
One thing we can definitely do is kind of have Orson play, like, errand boy, kind of.
Yeah.
And just have him, like, you know,
like we could use him to open that door.
Yeah. The problem is, like, we do have a mage here. Mages can mess these guys up. So I think maybe we should wait until next turn.
Okay.
Let me see how you do against him. There you go.
With the Steel Lance.
Good stuff, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know very much about Kyle, actually. I've never gotten into his character. I know Ford is kind of like a little bit more of a hot shot.
I'm actually curious. Yeah, this will actually work a lot better. I don't think any of them can use a silver sword.
Probably not.
Alright, one thing we do have to keep in mind is that while we do have healing items, we don't want to be, like, too gung-ho in this chapter because our resources are limited. We have no healer on this team. And, with enough hits, we can get pretty beaten up pretty quickly. So, here we go.
Yeah, focus down the mage.
Alright.
Yeah, I think it would be worth the Regent Leaf.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because the Regent Leaf is basically there to carry Ephraim through his first few levels to where his stats start getting good. Like, his stats are decent, but when they start getting really good.
Yeah, well, that's not a really good start. I mean, I'll take skill, mind you, but, you know.
I haven't actually checked the comments or the votes or anything of, like, not recently, but I think more people have been voting for us to do Erica's chapter.
That's what I've been seeing, yeah.
I haven't counted them up yet, though.
Alright, this'll work. Yeah, we're gonna have Kyle and Ford handle these guys. Ephraim, I think, can handle that, that Axeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, just like space out.
Nice.
If we space out our vulneraries.
Yeah, we should be able to get to the end here. Alright, good stuff, Ward.
Grail's old advice of, like, heal yourself before you need it doesn't apply as much here when we don't have a designated healer.
Exactly. Ugh.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, he wasn't happy about that one. Good stuff, Ephraim.
I like Ephraim a lot, too, because I feel like he's probably, like, coming off a Blazing Sword, he's one of the more unique, sprites in this game. And with his animations and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because, like, he's one of the few lords in the entire franchise who uses spears as his main weapon.
Yeah.
Actually...
It's like him and Dimitri.
Yeah, he might be the only one, besides Dimitri. I can't think of any others because most of them use swords.
Yeah.
Killer Lance!
I guess if you get into, like, if you want to consider the characters in Engage, like Tamara and, like... There are characters who, story-wise, are lords of other countries, but they're not the, like, lord of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily count that because, like, you know, lord is a title.
Yeah.
Outside of the mechanics of, like, you know, Fire Emblem. But if we're talking, like, the mechanics of Fire Emblem, then, yeah, like, it's a class.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about the difference between, the class lord and the title lord.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like in this game, Tana is a lord by... the extension of the fact that she's, like, the princess.
She's the princess of Frelia.
But I wouldn't go so far as to call her a lord in this game. She's a Pegasus Knight.
Yeah. Each of the 5 main countries in this game have a, like, young lord slash princess slash prince that kind of represents them in the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
Which we haven't met all of them yet, but obviously Erica and Ephraim for Renee, and they've mentioned a bunch of times already Leon, who's the Prince of Grado. And then in Frelia we have Tana, who's the princess, and Inez, who was mentioned, but we haven't met him yet.
Yeah. Alright, I think I know how I can do this. Ford can come over here and kind of, like, tank this guy, and Kyle can come over here to block this guy's path.
Okay. Couldn't the fighter just come down the other way? Oh no, he can't go through that water.
Yep.
Well, whose idea was it to flood the main hall like that? I guess it's like a little retention pond or something.
Or a pool.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy can actually reach, Kyle.
Does he have a longbow?
No, he doesn't. He just has an iron bow. He can just reach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he can walk around.
No big deal.
Do you want to trade some of that extra stuff to Orson just because... Oh, yeah, heal.
This is one situation where I am going to do that.
Because I don't think we can, like, throw stuff in the supply.
Oh, actually, here's what we can do. If we put Orson here, he won't attack Kyle.
Okay.
And, like, they're just gonna go around them, because, like...
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Good dodge, Kyle. Yeah, that works. Ah. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he's gonna wish he didn't do that.
Well, I guess Orson gets one kill at least. Heh. Alright, this'll work. Ah, Kyle! That will not work.
Did you know that, in Scotland, Kyle is a gender-neutral name?
Really?
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, like, here we'd usually expect it to be a,
Mainly a guy's name.
a guy's name, but I've met a girl named Kyle before.
Huh. Can't say I have.
She was in a play I did at a college.
Something I didn't know until, like... So here's a funny story about that, actually. One name I didn't know was unisex until I watched Drake and Josh was Leslie.
Oh, yeah, I think Leslie was a man's name before it was a girl's name, but nowadays...
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, did not know that it was also a guy's name.
Yeah.
And the only reason is because of that one episode in Drake and Josh where Drake insulted a dude who owned a towing company.
I don't think I saw that one.
Did you see the episode where they were supposed to deliver a cake to their Aunt Catherine's wedding?
No, I
And
gotta
the car
tell
broke
you, I
down?
didn't watch a ton of Drake and Josh.
Ah, okay. I loved watching Drake and Josh as a kid.
It seemed like a good show, I just, like, didn't want to watch, like, live-action stuff on Nickelodeon around that time. I don't know.
It's fair enough. Like, see, I used to be that until I started watching Drake and Josh, like, interestingly enough.
I will say, of what I've seen of it in my adult life, Drake and Josh holds up better than a lot of live-action shows
It definitely
that are on
does.
Nickelodeon.
A lot of it is because, like, if I may be so bold in saying, a lot of it doesn't really focus around, like, your typical high school drama, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, there is drama, obviously, but it's the funny kind of drama. Like, it's the kind of drama where two brothers are bickering over the stupidest things, rather than, oh, what girl is dating what other girl type of thing. It's no Glee, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I think just, like, both Drake and Josh were very strong, realized characters.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they're treated as, like, two different extremes. Like, Drake's the, like, really handsome one getting all the girls. He's, like, the more selfish, more lazy one.
Yeah.
And Josh is the nerd and never gets the girls and da-da-da. But, like, there was, like, more nuance to each of them than that. And, like...
Yeah, it's actually really interesting because, like, as the seasons went on, and this is kind of something that I appreciated, is that those same tropes that, like, were kind of like their thing for a while, eventually got to the point where, it became less and less their characters, and more along the lines of, like, the subversion of them.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, because, like, there was a whole episode where Josh actually got into a competition with Drake on who could date the most girls, because, like, Josh got jealous or something, and, like, Drake gave him crap for it. But that episode ended up turning around where,
Doesn't Drake fall in love with somebody, though?
Yes.
Like, I've seen that one. Yeah, like, the first girl Drake tries his moves on, like, isn't into it, and Drake, like, gets obsessed with her.
Yeah, well, she is into him, but when she finds out about the competition, she's, like, turned off because it's like, oh, what, really? Like, this is the kind of guy you are?
Yeah.
And Drake is like, no, like, he actually wanted to back out of the competition.
Because he caught feelings.
Yeah, and the only reason that Josh won that is because Drake kind of let him win, but also their mom, like, showed Josh, like, how to, like, ask a girl out in a respectful manner. It was actually a really sweet episode, honestly. Like, there were a lot of really, really cool episodes, like, throughout that entire, like, show. I enjoyed it a lot.
I think it was Nerdstalgic.
Yeah?
The YouTube channel. I heard them, like, explain the show once of, like, the best episodes, like, start with Drake versus Josh, and by the end of the episode, it's Drake and Josh.
Kind of.
And that's the like formula of a great episode.
Kind of, yeah. Like I would say that's pretty accurate.
Because then they come together and figure something out, or they do their Blues Brothers routine or something, and we all go, "Aw."
Yeah, it's kind of like they start out bickering, but then at the end of it, they learn a lesson, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Why were we fighting in the first place? Like, we're better as a couple type, or not a couple, but like as a team type of thing.
Like the most famous one when they get stuck in the treehouse.
Yep.
Which is...
Drake? Where's the door hole?
Oh, I didn't cut it out yet.
It's right there. I cut it out. I drew it out with magic marker. You were supposed to cut it out with the power saw! Dude, I'm gonna! Oh, really? Yes! Well, then go get the power saw! Okay. I see the problem. I'll do ya!
Famous.
Freaking love that. Like, that. I think that's also the thing that made those two really work, is that Drake had moments of, like, comedic unbrilliance, and then Josh just had the most bombastic reactions to his antics.
Because Drake was the playboy, and Josh was the nerd. But Drake wasn't stupid all the time, and Josh also liked ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Like, they had just enough of each other in them. They're like one of those yin-yang symbols. There's a little bit of the other inside them.
Yeah, kinda. Like, it definitely didn't start out that way, but it eventually those two dots started mixing in there.
In the beginning, there was dark and light, life and death, yin and yang, Drake and Josh.
How did this episode turn into a conversation about Drake and Josh?
I'm gonna start a religion that's Drake and Joshisms. Because I think in that episode, they, like, get into trouble together, too, because they're both messing with fireworks and they destroy Megan's treehouse, and that's why they're building a new one.
Well, it's not Megan's treehouse, it's the neighbor kid's treehouse.
Oh, okay.
And then Megan decides to screw them by unplugging the power saw. She doesn't help them get out, and
Megan.
Yeah, and then, like, Megan, like, an absolute, like, you know, cruel younger sister, they were gonna use the power drill to unscrew the screws to get out, but then she unplugs it.
Right. And then at the end, they get out by, like, both ramming the wall together, which knocks the whole thing out of the tree.
Which they definitely didn't get out of that without some semblance of an injury.
Oh, yeah, there's gotta be some dislocated shoulders there.
But then again, they get into so many, like, harmful situations that it's kind of the equivalent of protagonist armor in a way.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Yeah?
Do you have a favorite TV sitcom? And I would count Drake and Josh as a sitcom.
Drake and Josh is definitely up there for me. Like, that much is certain. Favorite sitcom... The thing is, like, I didn't watch a lot of sitcoms, like, even as an adult. Mainly because, like, by the time, like, you know, I was old enough to appreciate sitcoms, I wasn't really, like, you know...
Yeah.
I stopped watching TV, in a way. Drake and Josh is definitely up there for me. Another one that I got more into as I got older is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I do like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is great.
I
if
like
only
that show
because
a lot.
Captain Holt is an absolute gay icon and I love it.
I am not a robot. I am a human being.
Yes. I think my favorite bit from Captain Holt remains the motorcycle bit. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did, but it's not coming to mind. I've seen the whole series.
What was it again? It was like, hey, like this girl asked us to park a motorcycle for us. Man, motorcycles are death machines, and I got 2 kids. I ain't risking it. Are you saying that my life matters less because I don't conform to society's general normative tendencies? Are you really pulling the gay card on me right now? Yes, queen. Oh my god, like... He was... Like, Captain Holt was an absolute character in all of the greatest ways.
He's one of the best characters on that show, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just gonna have a Ford wait for now.
Okay.
Kind of just inching my way through here. The reason being is because I want to take out these like mages.
Is there anything on the right side of the map?
Not aside from just these guys.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can kind of just like inch by inch over here. Yep, as I thought. Nice!
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine would definitely be up there for me. I'd put The Office up there.
Shockingly, I was never all that big into The Office.
Yeah.
It had some good moments for me, but I was never big on The Office.
Parks and Recreation?
Nope.
I like that one a lot, too. The Good Place is an amazing show. I don't know if I can call it a sitcom.
No. The Good Place has sitcom moments.
Yeah, it's got some sitcom in its DNA, but I don't think... It's too high concept to be a sitcom.
Yeah, kinda. Still a good show.
As opposed to Community, which is a high concept sitcom, and is a great show and probably my favorite.
Have not watched that myself, actually. Again, I don't watch a lot of sitcoms, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, as like some other like shows, quote unquote, I guess you could count as sitcoms. Like, I guess, I don't know, you know, the cartoon sitcoms like King of the Hill.
Yeah.
I really actually like King of the Hill a lot.
King of the Hill's a great show.
It is a fantastic show.
It's also like it's put into that box with like all the other adult animated shows, but it's like really not that like unsafe for kids, you know, like. There aren't a lot of, like, adult situations. It's not, like, raunchy, and it's not, like, gratuitous.
No, it's like, it's adult in that it tackles some more adult themes, and that's pretty much the extent.
Like, sometimes you get an episode where, like, Hank, you know, takes a girl in who needs a place to stay and accidentally becomes a pimp, but...
Yeah, and, like, there's some semblance of, like, you know, quote-unquote cursing in there, but, like, it's the low-core cursing, like, god dang it.
Yeah,
or, like,
no F-bombs, no S-bombs.
Or, like, or, like, what the hell type of thing.
Yeah, there's some what the hell?
Yep.
Hank especially doesn't curse that much. Dang it, Bobby.
Yep. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I'm just trying to get a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Like that.
Yeah. What's great about King of the Hill is, I think it kind of like straddles the, like cultural political lines a lot because it's about very like Hank is like a very like conservative character.
The dude's a redneck.
And most episodes have to do with him coming in contact with something he doesn't understand. And then either learning to appreciate it, or every once in a while there's something where it's like, oh, this is a stupid fad, and like the town has to like team up against it. But generally it's something new that his son Bobby is into, and Hank's afraid of it because it's new and different. But then he like learns about it.
One episode I actually really appreciated, as a Christian, mind you, is the episode where Bobby started getting into the culture of, like, you know, rock and roll, heavy metal Christianity type of thing.
Yeah, he joins a youth group and they're into, like, Christian rock and stuff.
Yeah, which, like, you know, on the one hand, like, you know, good on Bobby for at least, like, finding a way to get into it, but he was getting into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the end of the episode where the father of the youth pastor was like, hey, you know, like, I understand your point, son, but remember, honor thy father and mother. If the father doesn't want his son getting involved in this, then it is our duty as respectable Christians to respect that.
Yeah.
And I like the end of it where Hank shows Bobby a box of things that he used to be into.
That he grew
out of. And I love the line, "I just don't want God to end up in this box."
Yeah.
I love that line. And like
I just like got chills.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's a great lesson.
Yeah.
I appreciated it even more because like Hank didn't necessarily force the matter into it. He just made Bobby realize, hey, you know, like if you want to be into God, great. Like if you don't want to be into God, great. I just don't want him to end up in this box for the reason that you're into right now. And Bobby understood it immediately.
Yeah, it's not even like saying like anything particularly bad about like Christian rock or like, you know, skate park Christians or
like skate park
like
culture or anything like that. Is just like if you're going
it's just Bobby's not being true to himself in that episode.
Exactly. Like he's not being true to himself. He's not being true to the like whole purpose of it, and that is actually like, you know, worshiping and believing in God. Like now whether you're into that or not is like aside the matter. What's important is the intention behind what you're doing rather than like, oh, you're just in it for the fad, you know?
Yeah.
I really appreciated that episode for teaching that lesson.
I get a little defensive of like... Oh, I didn't even see them down there.
I didn't even see him either. Whew. Okay. Careful there.
God dang it, Ephraim. That mage ain't right. I'll get kind of defensive for things in like Family Guy and South Park and stuff that like made fun of Christian rock or youth group culture or stuff, because I just happen to have, and I know you did too.
Yeah.
We both grew up with very like positive experiences in church youth groups.
For the most part.
And yeah, and not that I don't have stories to tell. And there's
obviously.
There's definitely like points in those episodes that I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, like you and I both have had those experiences.
There's a part where in that episode where Hank says, "You're not making Jesus cool, you're just making rock and roll worse." And I'm like, yeah.
Dude. And it's not just like in that episode, like I'm talking about like, you know, the cultures that we grew up in. We've obviously like had those moments where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm thinking back at this that I was into that was all great and all, but there were points about it that were not really all that okay.
Yeah, and you know, we both have, I'm sure I've run into people in those settings who are very like greater than thou and pious, and
as someone who used to be that, I concur.
And like looking back, I can think of a lot of times in those settings where I was basically taught to not like gay people, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, that was a bad thing we all just kind of agreed on.
Yeah.
in our little echo chamber.
This is coming from a couple of Christians who are still Christians as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we think back at that and I'm just like, yeah, no.
I spent too much of my life being homophobic. I'm willing to say that.
Same here, honestly, dude. Like, I remember those days and I'm like, oh man, I was really like this? Jeez. I've actually had a couple of people in my circle of like YouTube. Do you remember that little short I did where I was quoting what's it called? That one skit where it's like, I feel bad for parents nowadays and sex ed teachers, because you have to be able to explain the birds and the bees, the bees and the bees, the birds and the birds that used to be bees, the bees that used to be birds, the birds that look like bees, plus bees that look like birds but still have a fucking stinger.
Yeah.
I actually had someone in the comments ask me if, like, you know, was this meant to be, like, you know, like, homophobic kind of thing?
Which... I think you could read... I think it would be easy to read that joke as, like, homophobic.
Yeah.
TBH.
But honestly, like, I appreciated him for being, like, for asking first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no. Like, I was immediately like, oh, no, like, I'm sorry, like, if that's what you got out of this, but no, I want to assure you that, no, that's not how this is meant to be addressed. And I even put it in the description that this is no way, in shape or form, meant to be read as such. I am a supporter of the LGBT community. But I appreciate that my audience was willing to ask questions and like be able to engage with me in that matter, and I was even able to like bring it up in the blasphemous episodes and whatnot, and it's actually been a really, really good experience talking about that as someone who is still a Christian and being able to share that, like, idea with others who are, like, who may, like, have, like, apprehensions towards Christians.
Yeah.
Because, like, as...
I mean, I can't blame people.
That, exactly. Like, it's one of those things that, like, maybe we make fun of nowadays about Christians, but there's truth in jest. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know? Which is a sad state of affairs, but, like, you know, John and I, at the very least, want to, like, assure people that, hey, we are Christian, we believe in God, but we also support you guys who just want to live your lives, you know?
And you know what? I think God does too.
Honestly, though!
For whatever that's worth to you.
Like, actually, though, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure I've explained this before, but, like, one of the things I've always, like, emphasized is that look at the people that God hung out with, or Jesus hung out with when he walked the earth. He hung out with, like, what people consider to be the worst of society, and he hung out with them like they were his friends.
Yeah,
because they were his friends.
Yeah, there were thieves and tax collectors.
Tax collectors. But yeah, like, he didn't, like, ridicule the downtrodden or anything. He helped them. He gave them someone to talk to. And that's the kind of person that I would like to be as a Christian, you know?
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of what I appreciated King of the Hill, because it kind of had that same sort of vibe in a way.
Yeah. It was coming out in, like, the late 90s through the 20-aughts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there are some King of the Hill moments that don't age super well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can find some transphobia in there.
Mm-hmm.
Though there is an episode about drag queens.
I remember that episode,
that
yeah.
I think is actually pretty great.
How did you miss an 81%, Ford?
Yeah, wow.
These guys aren't in danger of dying to a soldier archer, though, so I think they'll be fine.
I think we're okay.
Meanwhile, I wish you could just kill him outright. He's not in danger of dying, so...
Yeah, then
whatever.
Save the Regen Leaf, then.
I'll definitely take that. Nice work, Ephraim. I'd like an increase in strength, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Alright, we'll let the Cavaliers handle that archer, and we'll have Ephraim handle Zonta.
Zonta.
Zonta. Oh!
Works for me.
Clever guy.
Alright, so can Ford hit off a 92 this time, or whatever it was?
I think it was 81. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, and we got an elixir out of that. Nice.
And I think Ephraim's good to clear the chapter.
Sounds good. Man, Regen Leaf increases his speed. That's crazy.
He will survive 2 hits, so we're safe for it.
Yeah, I'm willing to go with the Killer Lance.
Okay.
Me, right?
Yep.
Do you truly think you can take us with those numbers? Imbecile! You'll learn the error of your ways.
Yeah, you'll sound less confident with a pike shoved through your stomach.
Also, the fact that he's alone.
Yeah.
You're the only one left, buddy.
Yeah, big talk for the only enemy unit on the map.
Well done, Ephraim. Lord Dorado, it can't be. Were we merely pawns? Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
And that will be explained in a moment. Alright. There we go.
We've secured the entire castle. You were brilliant, Prince Ephraim. What a plan! What a battle! I estimate at least half of the enemy troops are in the field. We took the castle, but we don't have the manpower to hold it in a siege. There's no point in lingering here. Let's continue on to Great Oak Keep.
Prince Ephraim, things have taken a turn for the worse. I took a look around the castle perimeter. We're surrounded.
What? Grado sent reinforcements? So quickly? What should we do? We must escape.
Yeah. So, you've captured Renval, have you? And with such a small force. Impressive. You've earned your reputation. I must say, I quite admire your work. I take it you're the leader of this pack, the misguided Prince Ephraim.
I am.
I'm General Volta, the Moonstone of Grado's Imperial Army. Catching up to you has caused me no small amount of trouble. We've reduced your wretched home of Renee to ruin, and yet, you and your little band of bravos continue to be a thorn in our side. But that all ends here.
We'll see. You claim you've taken the capital of Renee. Tell me, how did you know I would attack Renval?
Patience! You'll have your answers soon enough. Now, be good lads and drop your weapons, will you?
Prince Ephraim, let us attack!
Listen to me, Ephraim. You're a smart man. You know it's futile to fight me. You cannot win. You cannot escape. Accept the reality of your situation and surrender to me.
Surrender?
That's right. If you do, I'll let you live. I hold your life in the palm of my hand. Do not test my good humor. Now come over here, bend your knee, and beg for your life. Show me how Renee dogs grovel.
I think not.
What?
You said your name was Valter, didn't you? Well, I'm sorry, Valter, but I don't have time to waste playing games with you. So, we're going to knock you louts about a bit and then make our way out of here.
Fool! Have you gone mad? Do you truly believe you can fight your way past my Wyvern Knights?
Watch and see. I don't pick fights I can't win. Kyle, Ford, are you ready? My life has been yours since the moment I took my chivalric vows.
It's moments like these that keep me by your side, my prince. What idiotic wretches you are! Prepare yourselves to be destroyed utterly!
We break to the east. Go!
Oh man. Ephraim's a badass,
Yeah.
just gonna say right now, especially facing someone like Volter like that.
Yeah, and, Orson was oddly absent during that scene.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he betrays you.
Aw, Orson, how could you?
Oh no. What will we ever do?
You mean the spy they were talking about at the beginning was the guy who spoke the least?
Uh-huh. I will say this, though. I'm really excited for when we meet Orson again, because that whole spiel is both really, really cool and also really, really heartbreaking. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, Orson's got some cool stuff going.
No, seriously. Like, seriously cool stuff. It's part of the reason I really like this game.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for joining us for Chapter 5X of Let's Play Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. I'm the Green Scorpion.
I'm the Comic Foil.
And the Green Scorpion and the Comic Foil will, bleh. I was going on a tangent there, but I screwed it up. Just give me a second here. The Green Scorpion and the Comic Foil are both supporters, now and forever, of the LGBT community and all people who wish to live their lives as they see fit, so long as you're not hurting anyone.
Oh, yay.
I have to make that distinction because people are going to be.
We need to be super clear about it.
Yeah, because like smartasses is going to be like, does that mean I can go rob banks and hurt people? And I'm like, no, that's when we're going to start drawing a line.
I mean, maybe if it's a really crappy bank.
The
banks have too much money. I'm sorry. I'm not saying to rob them. I'm just saying I don't really like them.
I mean, whatever happened to turn the other cheek? Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean you should go around bopping them in the head with a mallet.
Dude, I turned the other cheek 360 and keep going forward.
Just give them a nice view of that ass.